Good morning, and this is Morning Mindfulness. Today, I wanted to talk about what I feel is one of the key issues that happens to us as addicts, especially those that are in recovery in the first 1 year of sobriety. And that this issue, I feel, for me, was one of the hardest to address, and not only address, but find a way to work on it in a healthy manner. And it was definitely a roller coaster of emotions over this topic. And without further ado, the topic is communication roadblocks. The idea of sending and receiving messages is the basis of communication. A conversation or discussion with other people involves a series of messages sent and received by both people. A message has a verbal part and a non-verbal part. Breakdowns can happen when we don't send a clear message or when the other person doesn't send a clear message. Communication breaks down when we don't fully understand the other person's message, when the other person doesn't fully understand our message. Now, for me, I wanted to break this down into 5 areas that really explain it for me on key issues to look at on how the communication breaks down in your life. 1, we assume people know what we're talking about. I think we can all agree that many of us have done this, myself included. Our own thoughts and ideas are usually very clear to us. As a result, we sometimes don't explain things well, or we use words or slang that only others wouldn't understand. We all had experiences where we were talking about one thing, and the person we're talking with thinks we're talking about something completely else. This contributes to a communication break problems because it leads to misunderstanding. Second area, we assume people know what we're feeling, or at least they should. And the truth on this area is very simple. No one is a mind reader. When we feel that people should know, that's called an expectation. And all expectations is predetermined resentments. Think about that one. It's an interesting concept if you look at it. And it might help you out truly in your life. Third area, we just don't listen well. It took me a long time to learn how to listen and respond instead of react when someone was communicating with me, especially if it was in a stressful situation or they were giving me criticism. I did not listen well. Not. And the truth of the matter is, listening is hard work. Sometimes we don't listen well because we get distracted by things, TV, radio, the baby crying in the next room. Sometimes we get distracted by our own thoughts. We begin to plan what we are going to say next while the other person is still talking. I myself find that sometimes happening where instead of actually actively listening, I'm already trying to figure out what I'm going to say to what they're saying. And in doing so, I'm missing out on the whole conversation. Area 4. We tend to overreact to what other people say. I mean, blow it up. Use that as a defense mechanism, get defensive. Many more examples. I'm sure you can think of your own in your own personal life come on. Part of this program is being honest with yourself. So I'm sure you can look back on your life and see where you might have overreacted at least once. This can be very damaging, especially in relationships with people that you care about or your loved ones, really. If children, it can be really damaging to your children if you overreact on something that doesn't even require you being upset. Just the simple fact of raising your voice and like that is sending a message to that child and scaring them and freaking them out. And let's face it, as parents, we want what's best for our children, no matter what. And sometimes what's best for our children is us as parents remaining open and teachable, because no one knows how to parent. There's no one right way to parenting. Each kid is different. But if we remain open and willing to learn new things and figure out what works for our children individually, then that's just us being the best parents we can possibly be. Area 5. We are not always clear about saying no. Me, myself, and I, many times I just wouldn't say the word no. I would say maybe, This is one of those things called personal boundaries, and healthy personal boundaries. Not the kind we had when we were using, where we were just throwing the boundaries out the window. Healthy boundaries. A clear yes and a clear no. In this case, or most often, we feel pulled in two directions. We want to say no, and we want to say yes. Sometimes we want to say yes when we really want to say no. And then we get angry and resentful about it. Not being clear about saying no is a communication roadblock because it creates confusion. And it can cause us to feel angry, resentful, either at ourselves, which is just toxic, or to the other person that we're trying to communicate with or communicating to us. Either way, having clear structure, yes and no, is the best way to prevent and avoid some of these communication roadblocks. That's all I have for you on this subject of communication roadblocks. I hope you like this video. This is my first one I ever did, so a little bit nervous, but if you like it, give it a like and a heart. And if you want to have a more in-depth video about communication roadblocks, please feel free to leave me a comment and a share, and I will accept the challenge and I'll put together a more in-depth video. Thank you, and may your day be blessed, and safe travels today. Make smart choices and good decisions. God bless.